What's up, guys? LQ here. Just waiting in my car for a meeting that I'm getting ready to go to. Thought I'd share some quick thoughts about Survivor 49. And I think that the biggest sin that Survivor 49 is making is it's just boring. I haven't had much to say about this season so far because I'm not that engaged in it. It's just not that exciting. I like Savannah, I guess. I like Rizzo, I guess. But I'm not rooting for them. I'm not excited to see them make any big moves. I'm not seeing much in this season to get excited about. And that's frustrating. There's a couple things that have happened since Winners at War. The first one, we know, I've talked about this in length. Jeff has decided that he wants everybody to have a kumbaya moment in Survivor. He doesn't like the idea of villains anymore, which is crazy to me because every good narrative has a good villain. Whether it's a villain that we love to love or love to hate, every good narrative has a villain of some sort. And Survivor doesn't have villains anymore. Survivor has kumbaya moments where everybody lifts everybody up. And Jeff is always very proud about that. I think that Sage might be the closest we have to a villain so far this season, but still, no villain. And Jeff does not want villains. And again, I think that it might be a case where Jeff is a little too close to the problem. He doesn't realize just how important villains are, and he has this idea for what he wants the show to be, and it's just out of touch with what the fans actually want. Fans want a villain, somebody to root against or root for. Also, since 40, the idea of creating this generic Survivor 42, Survivor 43, Survivor 44. No, that's stupid. Let's get back to having themes to a season. The themes to the seasons help tell the story. You know, Survivor Redemption Island told a story of redemption, right? Survivor Island of the Idols told the story it wanted to tell. Now, I may have just pulled out two very horrible examples, but you get what I'm saying. The title of the season helps to tell the story. And sometimes that title is just where it's at this year. But since we're mostly at Fiji now, or I think exclusively at Fiji now, having themes, I think, really help for the titles. But let's get away from this stupid Survivor 48, Survivor 49, Survivor 50. No, let's get away from that. Yeah, I think those are the big things. All right, we need to have some villains. We need to have themes to the seasons that they can tell the story around. And we need to have, going back to the themes, they used to do pirate-themed seasons, right? Where they would have challenges that were based on the theme. I mean, they needed to get back to themes. And then finally, casting. It seems like the only people they want to cast are people who have some sort of sob story to tell, or some sort of, I don't know. Get back to casting players. I don't feel like we have many players cast in Survivor now. And when I mean players, I mean people who play hard, are strategic, are athletic, are cutthroat. You don't see the same caliber of players today as we did years ago. So, yeah, Survivor 49, it hasn't been offensively bad. But its biggest offense is just that it's boring. And I'm bored watching it. Now, like I said, I've been riding with Survivor since Borneo. I'll never get off of this train. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to admit when it's a boring season. And we are in the midst of a boring season where nothing interesting is happening. All right, guys. I'm LQ, Survivor 49. I'd love to see it turn around, but my hope is dwindling. All right, guys. We'll see you.